All right, Kevin, this is for Friday, April 5th. Let me start with crude oil. Just start with the positions we have. Oh, here we go. Screwed up situation once again. God damn it. You know, I bitch every time. What I would really be upset with if I were you is that you have to hear me bitch about this every time I cut one of these recordings. But there we have it. There's the 63.44. That's the day resistance. Now, maybe zoom in here a little bit and just take a look at a few things. Um, well, yesterday was a new move high, closing negative on the day. That's some sort of a candlestick thing that's oftentimes considered bearish. I would have liked to see us settle today below this low of the high, 62.05, but we didn't. I don't know what the official settlement was, but it wasn't below it, I'm quite sure. Anyway, things are looking slightly hopeful. I would like to see this market close below the 61.87 mark. I'm going to open up the newsletter here right now and, just show you the stuff you're already familiar with. 61.89, sorry. Let's close below that tomorrow, which is the first channel formation extended off this low. So this is not an updated weekly chart, but if we can close below 61.87, great. Otherwise, if we close at or above 63 even tomorrow, which is 1% beyond 62.37, there's nothing magical about it, but it is a threshold I like to respect. If we're wrong, and we get out in time at a small loss, I would like to see the market actually settle above 63.44, which would say, hey, it was good that we got out. So there you have that. Um, let's go ahead and take a look. What else do we have? We got gold. Gold needs to be looked at. By the way, I haven't done any analysis. I'm just jumping around here. So when that happens, sometimes it means that the video could run on a little bit, just a little bit. All right, so where do I? Okay, so I got this. I'm gonna do right here. Da, da, da. All right, so there's a spike low today, below these lows. We did not close up on the day. If we had, I'd be a little concerned, but still, we recovered. The market's up now. My question to you is: do we want to endure? Do we want to just bail on this thing? The settlement tomorrow above 1298.7, I think, indicates this. This 1312.9, I guess, is what this is. That would make, yeah, 1312.5. So, I don't know in terms of delta and so forth and so on, and I actually forget what put we own, 1290 something. Do we got in down here? We got in on this day, and so we're right flat, break even. We're probably down just a little bit because of premium decay or volatility contraction. Either way, do we want to endure this? I don't like the idea. I'd rather be, if we get the buy, if we get above here 1298.7 tomorrow. I mean, first of all, the market could run intraday all the way up here. That's possible after fiddling around with these lows. So I think we should have a morning discussion about this. I hate to get out here and then see the thing trading 60 by the end of April, obviously. So anyway, it's never an easy answer. The spread, the spread, the spread. So one of the things I've noticed, I think I mentioned today, is the spread, and you correct me if I'm wrong, but when the general live cattle complex is weak, it seems that this spread narrows, the June AUG, and then when the general live cattle complex is strong, this spread tends to widen. So if we have a buy signal in live cattle, should we ignore this 3.425 and just get out based on the buy signal because the next week or two looks like 3 to 4 points, full basis points higher? Um, in fact, this looks a lot like the June live cattle chart. That's so crazy, isn't it? I think. I don't have it in front of me. Anyway, so there's that. There's a question for the morning. So that covers our positions. Lean hogs, I'm just not even going to waste time on it because I don't think we're interested in trading it, and we both are well aware of it. We had the push above 92.27. Here's a nice rally here today. I'm glad I've been telling subscribers that this is just mere slippage against that 148.17 level, and to hang tight if you're long. So that was a bit of validation there on this. You know, we tested this amply this week, and now we're well above it. If we get above 150.10 tomorrow, even if we open above it, the market could get up to 152.80 pretty easily. I think that's the high settlement. I could be wrong there. But if we close above 150.10, then 155.35 is likely. That's that double top. And you know, overall, as I've been saying, this is a base. I don't know. Are we itching to go long, or do we want to look at buying some calls now? And that we've tested this. Obviously, hindsight, we could have been thinking about that before, but I'm not going to fault either one of us for deciding to hold off. But now that we've got a turn here, do we want to take a shot at a call or a call spread or whatever the case might be? So, you know, I'd consider this a hot market right now to buy into. Look at this. You've got this rounding low congestive bottom. The market's now pushing higher. This is a mere test of long-term support. 163.50 seems to be written all over the place, I think. You know, so I think we should look at that. That would be my thought. And it's a high volatile market though, so you know, we've got to endure, you know, I don't know if we go with the low delta out of the money call or whatever the case might be, but something to talk and think about, okay? So there's that. Okay, we'll take a look at both of these. I know you've probably seen this by now, but we're at 120.42 is that channel formation. Now we're looking for 124.15 again, which is a long-term channel top we busted through and got snagged by, head faked, if you will, a couple weeks ago, if you recall, 2, 3 weeks ago. But that's likely again, and in fact, probably best to look at the August contract because you know, its channel top is at 120.90, and that's the one that held. We spiked through it this particular day, but it held, broke back. Now we're above this 117.07 formation, which looks like 120.90 is likely by some point next week. If we close below 117.07, then this 114.65 is likely. So there's that. I'm actually, let me go back to this June. I am kind of kicking myself. This is a 1/3 speed line. Look how beautifully the goddamn thing held. And I even lightened up and called it an intraday containment level. Shame on me, I guess. Hindsight, you know, you look back. I was just waiting for this thing, the 117.72. It looked like everything was just going to, you know, the way feeder cattle looked and so forth and so on. It was heavy, but now here we go, looking back. Anyway, buy signal above 120.42. I'm game for buying out of the money calls in live cattle, ideally on a dip tomorrow. Let's take a look at the chart here. If we're going to look at June, so I'm just going to create a new chart here. So we have these highs, this high, and this channel formation. So we've got support preceding this at a low 121 handle, 121.10, 121.05, all right? And this is our, you know, aggressive buy pullback zone if given the chance tomorrow. I'm saying if you're an aggressive near-term trader. This is not, though, a, how should I say? You know, you could dice this up a couple different ways. You could say we've tested long-term support, now the speed line, and this high will be taken out over the next week, 2 or 3, and then onward and upward we go. We still have that long-term resistance in the 135 handle on the weekly chart. Where's that? That's you know, we get above this channel structures up here, and you know, truthfully, we have new ones. I guess I should draw them. Yeah, I guess that's about where it would be, perhaps. Um, one no 125 really? Yeah, I guess it would be 125.52. Oh, sorry, channel 32. Come on, channel 32. God damn it, 125.55. Sorry, 125.62. So we're not going to get there tomorrow, but this is what I'll be looking at. This is likely over the next week, 2 or 3. If we get above that, well, the 135 handle is quite easy to imagine. So anyway, there's the live cattle. We can talk about that. Cattle market should be talked about, I think. Feeders, live, ethanol, RBOB. RBOB did back off today, if I recall, a little bit. New high, negative settlement. So it's been riding this channel top for a couple of weeks now. We're still below it. So this is one of the reasons I'm not like freaking out about the crude position just yet. Just yet. But we want to see the RBOB, in my opinion, settle below 93.79. It's 93.99 last, so I guess that's not a big stretch. I've looked at crude. May corn is ready to post a buy signal above here, up into the lower 380s. And Dees corn, I like that even better. Dees corn actually did post a buy signal by a hair today, but I think it needs another day to mature. But that's a valid 1/3 speed line coming off of this high because we didn't take this low out. So it's this high, this low. It incorporates, 6 months of activity, and we closed just above it yesterday. So this formation at 401.5 is likely. What is that, a 10-cent move? That's $500 on a one lot. I think we can trade underlying futures in the corn. Have we done that yet? I can't remember. I know we got in corn once, but I couldn't remember. I can't remember if it was a call or if it was a future. I think it was a future. Anyway, we could have another go. So there are a lot of things happening. Soybean meal, soybeans. Once again, here we are. Come on now. There you are. All right, so there's a channel top. Bean settlement above 908.25. It's off for the next few weeks. We've got several grain buy signals potentially at play here tomorrow. So there's that. And there's lots of stuff up there. I'm going to take this channel off for a minute just to show you. There's all kinds of stuff going on up here in the lower night. This is 940 even, and then we've got this long-term structure that we pushed through, closed just above once and backed off. That's all in there in the low 940s, upper 930s. That would be the target. So, that's a 30-cent play right there. 1,500 bucks on a one lot. But, soybeans is a bigger market, so I'm not trying to get too enthusiastic about it. Wheat tested the speed line today, roughly, and backed off. So at this juncture, while this is a speed line that can contain buying through next week and possibly in later April and possibly result in a retest of the lower 130s, I would rather either at this juncture sell a settlement below here or sell this area up here. That's, I could be wrong, but this upper 490s I think is our big area, and so we'll be watching that closely. S&P 500, 29.22 1/4. Yeah, well, why am I focusing on this? Hold on a second. Spacing out here. Well, I'm going to go to I'm just going to go to the newsletter. Come on. There we are. All right. This is, we're above it. It's held all week. I don't think we've even tested it, have we? Have we tested this? This is Monday, right? Yeah, Monday the 1st. The low was 44.5. Yeah. Yeah, and the high last week, look at that. High the last week was 40.75. We actually have a gap on the weekly chart. That's right. Monday opened higher. So, do I have this illustrated in my weekly stuff? Yes, I do. Look at that. Gap up. That looks pretty damn good. I wish I wasn't so wishy-washy when you were prodding about buying calls. Let's take a look at the NASDAQ. Come on, you. There we are. All right, NASDAQ is still there. So this channel formation, 1, 2, is at 75.28 half tomorrow. I'm just going to get rid of that old high and just go 75.20. God damn it. 75.28 half. Okay. That's the channel structure. And then the low of the high is 13.25. I know you can't see it very well, but it's right there. So you've got a range, 15-point range. If I were an aggressive day trader or even a 2 to 3 week trader, I'd be buying this. Yeah, so I'm chopping at the bit here in a market that's probably too big for us to participate in. Once again, we I think we determined a 400-point loss is just 40 cents in this thing, right? And then we have to look at the money call at 20 cents, just a 20-cent move. So we could buy it at 33, let's say, and then our stop is 13 and a quarter, because that is 20 cents in the Nasdaq. I don't know what I forget all the stuff with regard to the calls and the at the money delta. I think was more of a 40. I forget. Um, Euro currency, same, nothing going. Canadian dollar. Yeah, okay. This is a channel. Yeah, channel bottom held today. So closing below this is a bit of a go with, and I know you keep talking about the correlation between this and crude. So I'm obviously hoping to see a settlement below that. My question then is, because we've been testing this and testing it, we never really had a buy signal above it. We had one by a hair, but it wasn't enough. And so if we close below 74.94, that's a bit of a go with. Is it significant? Not overall, but we're still allowing for, it's a new channel formation, which should still be in the 73s, I'm sure. 73.50, 73.40. So anyway, tomorrow's number is 75.12. I'm just gonna call it 12. I'm gonna use the speed line now, because we know if we close above the speed line, it's also above that channel formation. All right. Japanese yen, continued weakness. I'm just going to keep moving through here because I know we're not looking at this right now. British pound, consolidation for 6 weeks. US dollar. I don't know if it's higher from yesterday or not. This is a weekly chart, but once again, base of support, 5/8 Fibonacci pullback. It's just above these highs. But I don't put a lot of significance in Fibonacci. I really don't. I mean, I think this is like a weekly containment area. This down here is 4 stars. This is a multi-week containment above which this market wants to push higher, and I really think this is the bigger area. It also correlates with this stuff, 100.6, 100.8. This is 99.8, So anyway, bullish dollar still. I covered gold. Let's take a look at silver. Silver broke below. This happened earlier in the week, I think, and now that might have actually happened today, didn't it? Yeah, just like gold. A spike below. If it closes higher in the week, that's constructive after testing all this. That's why I'm questioning this gold right now. I think it needs to be questioned just a little bit. I have another question for you too. Should we incorporate not just price but time into our trades? I mean, if we hold something for a certain amount of time and it doesn't pan out, is that enough reason to get out? And I don't know exactly what that answer is, but it just, I could be wrong here. I'm kind of mentally tracing back everything we've done, but it seems to me that the longer we hold out in crude could be one of them. I don't know. Time could be a horrible way to do it. I mean, you just have to be patient. But I guess that is the definition of an impatient trader, is not waiting. The problem is with the options, and I don't have a problem with the options. I think they're a great way for us to get involved in these, but you've got the decay factor, and then when the markets consolidate, and this is copper, has nothing to do with it. When the markets consolidate, and then you've got volatility contraction on top of time decay. I don't know what that gold put looks like right now. but we're not up or down really in the market from when we bought it over a week ago, and I'm guessing it's down a bit. So that it sort of weighs on things a little bit. 10-year. That came down 13, and that is a price of 10, that long-term channel structure. So it came within a few ticks, and this high is 08. So, and it got a little bit of a bounce. So holding above the structure, this thing can actually head up into the 126 handle still. NASDAQ I've covered. Let's go through the softs here real quick, and then I think I'll be done. 13.16, still the breakout area for sugar. Cocoa continues higher. Look at that beast. 23.46. That was a nice little buy signal. I recognize that some of these markets you and I are not all that familiar with, but I think as long as we keep looking at them, we will develop a familiarity over time, and that could be to give us the confidence that we need to participate in these eventually, you know. But as I've said, cocoa, I like its fluid aspect. I think you would agree. There's not a lot of gap activity here. It just has a methodical look to it. I imagine a daily sugar chart would look similar. So this is still our price up here, 25.13. There we have it. And coffee. There we are. Ooh, huh. Well, new low, higher weekly settlement. There's our buy signal next week above 97.17. And then who knows where she goes. But you got these little stair steps all the way up. And cotton should be in here somewhere. There she is. Kind of unchanged. Still upper 70s, low 80s resistance. Big area below which this market can easily rotate south. We'll just keep an eye on that. I know I have a channel structure in there somewhere rising. There it is. Weekly chart right now 74.38. Next week 75.04. Anything else? I don't think so. I don't think I missed anything. But to summarize, hot markets right now, cattle and grains. They're cattle have already elicited buy signal. Feeder cattle tested long-term support. Live cattle tested longer-term support in the June contract. Not exactly the test I wanted, but it did touch that speed line, and now we actually have a buy signal. So cattle market hot right now. In the grains, beans and corn both getting ready to post a meaningful 2 to 3 week buy signal. So not real big picture stuff, but you know, I guess it begs the question, we're watching this every day. We're watching it throughout the day. Why not participate in a 2 to 3 week signal? I can see the Tudor Jones where you're participating in really big areas, and I think we're all over that right now. But I'm wondering if we can walk and chew gum at the same time with regard to a 2 to 3 week signal, knowing it's a 2 to 3 week signal only. It's just a question. I know we've actually already kind of done it, and not with much success. But it doesn't mean we can't keep at it. Even this cattle, if we try buying the cattle right now, this is just a 1 to 2 week buy signal, really, but I'm all for it. We tested long-term support, and now we have a sign of near-term strength. So that's all I'm going to babble about. It's about 24 minutes, and I will talk to you in the morning. Bye.